Hey, what's up YouTube and welcome back to another video from your boy Hunter. I promised to make a tutorial on this and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you exactly what it does and how it works. So we got sprite animations. We're not getting anything that pops out of that. As you can see, the animations are not really made for 2D. And I'm not trying to be perfect. So that's basically what I have for you. You wanted a Super Mario Bros. Game? Well, just a tutorial on this. This is what you're gonna get. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is actually just go download a sprite sheet. So it's easy to find. I mean, seriously, I didn't even have to look far for this. All I did was I can't even spell. And there you go. You get all of these images. So you're just gonna go have a look. Okay, so what works for you? Make sure you have a proper sprite sheet that has transparency and everything like that. So I think I got this one. For Mario. But you can just go and look for proper sprite sheets and you might actually get something better than what I'm using. Let me just make this bigger for you guys. So I just started looking around just for proper sprite sheets, so what I can use. Hey, this actually would work perfect. It's actually pretty cool. Should have used these. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description for this one, so you can actually go and check out these sprite sheets. But other than that, I'm just using something I've animated myself. So that's basically all I actually did with this. So it's pretty easy to do once you know what you're doing. This is done in the 3D world space. Back here I've just got something parented to the camera that just follows along, so you actually have something to look at. And this is in the 3D space. Everything is just planes. And then if Mario collides with this, he dies. Alright, so probably should get into the tutorial. Animating this was a pain in the ass. Trust me, this is a pain in the ass, but it's possible. It's possible. So like I said, sprite sheets. That's what you call it, a sprite sheet. This is a sprite sheet. But this is just for the background. I cannot remember where I got this. I actually downloaded this a long time ago and I remembered I had this on my computer. I guess I had the same idea a while ago, a long time ago, and I just came across this on my other hard drive I never had connected. Oh, well, anyway. But now I've got this. And the first thing I did was scan this for fucking viruses. So basically, everything here is just a plain. Okay. But the only thing you are going to worry about, making a level, making it work, looking at the collisions. For sprites, you are going to have to be precise. And if I say precise, exactly where he is, exactly where Mario is standing, like this has to be properly in line. If he's not in line with anything else, it won't work at all. And I can show this to you now. First I'm gonna do this Shift S because it is selected, just so I have a reference point. If I move this forward a little bit, it will fall off. Hit play, it doesn't fall off. Left, right, up, down, he's just gonna do left and right. So doing that is pretty easy. So I'm gonna hide this Mario. Okay. I'm just gonna make something real simple for you guys. So Shift A, Mesh, and Plane. Then you do RX 90. Because he's going to move forward and back on the X and, well, on the X axis. Now I've got tracking to these, which I've just renamed. It's just normal planes. Make sure when you do something like this, you tab into edit mode with the plane, Shift A, and add a single vertex. Add single vertex. Make sure it's in the center of this. Okay. So that's the first thing you're gonna have to remember to do. The physics for this is just character physics. There you go. Just like that. So it's gonna drop down. But obviously, it's not going to drop down all the way because, yeah. There's one problem. Giving him collisions fucks it up a little bit. But you can always try convex hull and see what happens, and it works. So I would recommend you using convex hull for the character. Alright. For this, it's just box. That's all you're gonna need. It's box. Alright, so a sprite sheet, animation. This is what I think most, well, the other guy actually wanted me to do. My one subscriber asked me to do this, so I'm just gonna quickly explain this. You're gonna go to your shader editor. Right. In your shader editor, you're gonna have to make sure you get the right one. So for me, I actually just already have this as a material. Making sure I've got the right material on this. You're gonna see this is what that sprite sheet looks like. This is the one I used to animate. And that's, I showed you the website for this, so So animating this is a pretty big pain in the ass because it's not always easy. So you're gonna tab into edit mode. Make sure you select everything. Alright, you're gonna go to UV editor first. UV editor. And remember, this is big Mario, then you get small Mario, and then you get well, that Mario. So I think I might just use the big Mario and scale him up and down and as I go, because the first one I used didn't really work for me. I actually used the small one, and animating this was pretty hard. So the first one you want to line it up with is this one. So make sure you get this properly aligned. Now you're gonna see that happening. It's just disappearing. Why it's disappearing, I have no idea. Maybe because I have to sign this? Maybe no. What's going on? Why are you disappearing, you piece of shit? As you can see, this is actually a big problem. I don't know why it does that, but it happens every time. I think there's a little bit of a bug or something. I have no idea. I don't know why, but it doesn't help me switching between this. I'm just trying to think what's going on now. Let's try applying the scale, maybe. I don't know what the hell's going on. Why are you doing this now? What, you piece of shit. Every time I try to record, this happens. You can see the one I'm on right now, and maybe you see it still has that animation. Alright, so I'm just gonna press on this, make sure it has another name on it, and then for this one I don't need any animations, so I'm gonna just remove the animations, delete keyframes. Okay, then it should actually work now. It's supposed to work, but alright, so that's just gonna get on my nerves. I'm just gonna make a new material, and I'm just gonna call it new, so I know what I'm looking for. Okay, shader editor. Press Ctrl T. You are going to have to press Ctrl T. Make sure you hook the alpha up to the alpha. And then I'm just gonna choose that sprite sheet. And now it should be properly aligned. Make sure you set this to alpha blend. And there you go. Now animating a sprite sheet, you're gonna do it with the location on this. Now this is not easy, trust me. So make sure you're on frame 1 or frame 0. I would recommend starting on frame 1 so you know you are at 1. Then you're gonna press insert on this location. Press I to insert. Not inset, insert. Yeah. So now basically it's just gonna drop down. Boom. And you will see there's a little bit of a weirdness going on there, but okay, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. This is where it gets hard, and if I say hard, it's not one of the easiest things to do. Making him run. Alright, so you're gonna go to frame 3, not frame 2, frame 3. We're gonna move him over a little bit, just until you find that running animation. This is the jump, there's the start of the run. Now this is where you're gonna have to be a bit more precise on how you do this. So it might be 6. Let's try 6. Yeah, I think 6 should work. 66. So 0.66. Then I'm gonna insert that. So now it should be doing something like that. So now it's actually going to have the jump animation on frame 2. So now I'm gonna go to frame 4, which has nothing. So frame 4. Now we're gonna look for the next animation on running. There you go. And then I'm gonna insert that. So basically when it goes back, but that's where it gets weird. You can see that, where he's got absolutely no animations. So we are going to have to look for frame 2 where he actually has that jump animation now, because I forgot to put that in. I'm just gonna insert that. So now it's animating between these frames. But now for the next one we need the rest of the running animation, and that's gonna be this one. What is gonna be? 0. That should be good. Now the next thing I want to do is just to get him back into this pose. So I'm just gonna copy this. So where it's no keyframe, I'm just gonna Control V and insert that. Now it should look like he's actually running. And then I'm just gonna need this one again, Control C, because it's going to be a loop animation. And insert that. Pretty cool. That's basically all you're gonna need. So thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so now we want to animate this in the logic editor. So if I go to my timeline now, you're not gonna see anything being put in there. Even if I go to my dope sheet, you will not see anything. There's nothing, because it just gets stored in. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. So the only way you're actually gonna know what you're working with is having a shader, you know. So if I do action and I look for, you will see shader node editor, and I think, well, shader node action, I think it's gonna be 002. So this is just going to be the idle. So I'm just gonna rename this as idle. So you're just gonna stand still. So it's going to be 1 and 1. That's it. You're gonna leave this at layer 1, layer 0, and layer 0. you're gonna do a keyboard and just use all keys and invert. Now it doesn't matter if you use tab or not, it's still going to mess you around no matter what. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a moment. Alright, so for the next thing we're going to need is a few keyboard sensors. So K. So this is going to be the idle. So you can close that down. There's going to be A. Rename that. There's going to be D. There's going to be W. You will see why we're going to have W. Well, that's going to maybe be in a different tutorial, but S and spacebar, which is going to be jump. Now, what I do with a jump, make sure you set this to tap, and you want a collision. Collision is whatever you rename your ground as. Your ground is going to be a property. Control C. So you're going to add this game property. And just rename it whatever you want, but remember the name. Because that's what he's going to have to collide with. So you're going to add that property, gr, that's what I have it, make it a true false. And also with the running animations and everything, that's going to be. So you're going to need an action for this one. I can't remember, I think it's just going to be T. No, maybe it's just a action. There you go. Along with that action is going to be an edit object, which is going to be a track 2. Make sure it's on the positive x-axis, and we're gonna just wait before we copy this. It's going to be that same animation, and remember the running animation starts at frame 3 and it ends at frame 4. No, 4, 5, 6. Let's make sure. Let's jump. Starts at 3, it ends at 7. That's good. So basically you're just going to need this one animation, and you're just going to call it run. That's going to be on layer 1, layer, and property. Priority 1. So you're just going to bring those up. And that's going to be a loop stop. Now you're just going to hook up the A and the D to that animation. But before you do the D, you are going to just first hook this one up. So he's going to play the animation and he's going to track to an object. Just like that. And remember, this is A. So he's going to have to go this way. So what I'm going to do is actually just take these. Press Alt P, clear parent, key transformation, and just move them down to where Mario can actually track them, and making sure it's exactly aligned. This is very important, otherwise it's going to mess around. Remember, we have that vertex at the center of Mario, that one, and make sure it's basically, well, it is in the center of Mario. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select these and press Shift A cursor to selected, and then select the Shift A selection to cursor. This is very important for it to be in the center. Then I'm going to select both of these and then select Mario and tab into edit mode, Control P, make vertex parent. So if Mario rotates, you're going to see that happening. Alright, so now it's going to track to A, which I rename this as A. This arrow, you're going to rename this as A. Then you can always just go ahead to the viewport display. If you really wanted to, you can just do viewport display and name. Now, if you don't see the name, don't worry about it, because you know it is there, very small. And also, if you scale these, I'm gonna press Alt S, and you will see nothing happening, because I scaled it right here. So instead of just scaling it like this, scale it there. Makes it a lot easier. And also, rotating this now won't mess around. Okay, so this edit object is going to go to A. So if I were to press A, you're gonna see something like this happening. Why? You're gonna be like, oh, what's going on? What happened? What happened? What's going on? Okay, remember, up axis, track axis, Control A, and rotation. Remember to apply its rotation. Then you're gonna see something like that happening now. But now I'm getting a weird, animation that just keeps moving, and it's just weird. It's just fucking up. Why is it fucking up? Why is it doing that? Because these are not aligned. No, it's not because of that. So you can try and mess around with this, but there you go. This is what happens when you try to do that. So doing the run animation, I think it's better just to bring it up a few extra frames. Just a few, not too much, but just enough so it actually just loops a little better. I haven't found a way to actually do this properly, because for some reason it's scrolling between the animations. Now I don't know if you do add, maybe. See that? It's not really working. You can try force. You can try add. It's not really gonna do much. So unfortunately, I have no idea how to fix that. Like I said, this is not a program for what we're trying to do here. I have no idea how to fix that. If anybody else has an idea how to do this, please let me know in the comments below, and I will try it. I will try it. But now the reason he's actually doing this is, excuse me, is tracking to that object right there just by swinging around. So you can do this, Shift S cursor to select it. Shift A mesh, and let's just use a cube real quickly and parent it to this. Control P and object. Making sure when we do this, nothing disappears, nothing. You can see what happens. It's just pushing down for some unknown bloody reason. So it might be because of the location, but I did not add any other animations except for that. So playing around with these, I don't think that really helps. So I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Also turn off the continue for this. Alright, so this is what we have to fix now. It might be because of the tracking, but I really doubt it. So I'm gonna try and control A and just apply its scale, just to make sure it's not the scale that's messing around. It's not the scale messing around. It might be physics wise, I'm not sure, but the previous one worked perfectly, and now I'm trying to record and this happens. Why? I have no bloody idea. Maybe Blender hates me. Man. But anyway, I'm just gonna delete this Mario and Alt H. So I think I'm gonna stick with this Mario. See, that works a lot better for some reason. I don't know why. But you know, like I said, maybe Blender hates me, maybe not. I don't know what's going on, why it was doing that. Because I did everything exactly the same. So I think it's going to be better I just show you the logic bricks. It might be a little confusing, but rename him as player. That's very important, the game property. So you got simple motion. I didn't put that in just yet, but that's a tracking. So you got the tracking. The keyboard sensor has two ways it goes. The collision. So it can only run while it's colliding with the ground. So with a collision. So if he collides with the kill, he dies, but if he collides with ground, he can run. He can, you know, play a certain animation, in which would be this animation we have, the first animation we actually made. So these are all just the motion and the edit objects. That's all you're gonna be working with. So he's going left and right. So if I do this and I rename this now as A point. I'm just gonna make a dot so you can see A. There's going to be D, I'm just gonna make a dot so it actually doesn't just make it a double O. Then this motion is jump, so you can see what's going on instead of just what the hell are these noodles, what's going on, and start complaining about shit. And yeah, I don't want that. So this is just the anim, or maybe I can just call this run. As you can see, just as, oh, maybe this is not the run, this is the idle. This animation is a ping pong, the shadow node tree, 1 to 2. That's only 2 frames. But as you can see on that other sprite sheet, we have a lot more and it won't take it. But okay, so this is the run. This one is the death. And then it just goes to a state. So just state. State 2, I'm just gonna show you quickly on state 2 what's going on. I can just close this down now because I don't want this. There isn't the W because that's the crouch and stuff. So you're not gonna look at these. Also not in that. But on state 2, I have a delay and an always. The always goes to an action, which plays that weird animation where he dies. Let's see, I have it at frame 14. It sends out a message that he's dead. Plays another action from 1 to 40. That 1 to 40 is just a normal animation I made with him going up and down. That's it. That's it. He just goes up and down for a death animation. That funny death animation if he collides with something and he just has no more lives left or whatever. So that's basically what you have. Now you're wondering, okay, this message it's sending, the message it's sending, where is death sending? Why do we have that death message? It's sending it to the camera. The camera is parented to Mario. See that? Everything is parented to Mario except for the light. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so with the death animation on the camera, I just have a few logic bricks. It gets the message dead and it removes the parent. So when it removes the parent, basically what happens is you can see the camera just stops. Everything just stops. That's basically what you want. And then you actually want to do a scene and either restart. So you can just restart the scene or set it to a state. Go to the second state for this. I'm gonna show you this in a little more in another way you can do this, but for now we're just going to go ahead and just go for a delay, not appropriate delay. Sorry, I'm a little tired, so I'm just gonna give it a delay of 30. Make sure it's set to repeat and just play that restart. So you will restart the scene if he dies. But you can see the delay is way too fast. So let's try 70. A little too fast. Let's try 100. Okay, maybe 200. Just so it actually gives you a nice delay before you actually restart the scene, so you can give the player like, you just fucked up, you're gonna wait for this. And then it restarts the scene. When the scene restarts, you are going to go back to the first layer, have an always, Have a parent. Set parent to Mario. I'm just gonna do that real quickly. There you can see. But you can see when you set the parent, it just messes it up completely. That's why I actually would recommend, okay, you actually just not just resetting the scene, but ending the game. Literally ending the game. So you can do a restart game. Let's see if that actually fixes the problem with the camera messing around. What the hell is this all about now? Oh, I did not save this. Control S. So always make sure to save if you're gonna restart the game. Otherwise, you're gonna lose most of your progress when you restart the game. And yes, I did die on purpose. So there you go. Making sure you restart the game. If he dies, it just restarts. Now obviously you're gonna go back to a start screen where you actually just stand still and you can select a few things, you know, whatever. But without these weird animations and textures, I just want to show you something in 3D. Seriously, I'm just gonna save this, Control S. I'm gonna do this file new. Now let's just do it general. Now I'm gonna do this in a 3D version. We actually do it in a 2D way. So this is gonna make a little bit more sense if you're not sure exactly what's going on. So the first thing you're gonna do is just scale this up. Give yourself something to work with. So just a small platform. Then you can duplicate this. GZ. Scale it down. Make sure it's in line. You can make it shorter if you wanted to. Make sure your player can actually get to this. So Shift A mesh, and let's just make a cube now. Now my player is gonna be a cube. I'm gonna make him a little smaller. Again, the physics, I'm gonna do this static. From static, I'm gonna make him character, make him an actor, rename it as player, just like that. So I'm gonna give you a little bit more of a, you know, colorless thing to look at. So don't demonetize me for this. This is just so you can see a little bit easier what you can do to make this look 2D, but it's actually 3D. So I'm not gonna do sprite animations. I'm gonna do just this cube moving around. If you want, you can do Shift S, Shift Z, and just make them smaller maybe. This seriously sounds like Crash Bandicoot's underwater scene. Is it? No, it's not. It can't be. I just want to see. This is bugging me now. It's Mario Sunshine. Seriously, this sounds like Crash Bandicoot's underwater scene, but okay, I'm not gonna argue with it. Okay, so back to the video. Okay, so we're not gonna have any weird animations playing right now, so I'm gonna switch this to Logic Editor. Logic Brick Editor, we're gonna have 3 keyboard sensors, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. There's going to be A, D, space bar. Make sure they're set to tap. On this side, we want him to be able to move left and right. Okay. So we're gonna have motion. 1, 2, 3. You can set this to character motion on all of them if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter, but you can do this. Character motion and character motion. Then you're gonna hook these up. Left, right, and jump. Pretty simple, isn't it? So with the jump, you're just gonna tick on the jump. So now I'm gonna go into, well, I'm just gonna click on this and actually go to local. I want to see on local, even normal, you're gonna see it's gonna go forward on the x-axis. X forward and X back. Now we can test it out and you can see it's reversed. So if you find it's reversed, easy to fix. And you can see I cannot reach that because for one, everything here you're gonna have to control A and scale. So when it drops, you always want your player to be able to reach certain areas. So instead of moving that down or up or whatever, give him a little bit of a extra platform to work with. And also I'm just gonna do this. Why did you do that, you piece of shite? Weird. But now you can see sliding up that. And you don't want him to slide up that. Maybe a good way to do that, but to make sure he doesn't do that sliding, for one, we're going to give him collision bounds. Alright. Make sure you give this collision bounds. And make sure you get this collision bounds. Because we scaled this one, I'm gonna do Control A and scale. For this one, we need to bring his step height down. Now I shouldn't be able to move up that, as you can see. Now you can actually just, the jump force, you can bring it up if you need to. But now he's jumping way too high. And now it's trial and error. Now it's testing out how high he can jump. So 8 to not enough, 15 too high, so let's try 11. Holy shit. I said 11, you piece of shit. 11's gonna be not enough, so let's try 12. Not enough. Let's try 14. That should be good. Now I can move up and down. Alright, so now we've got the motion going, we've got the jump going, but we have nothing to do. There's nothing to say, okay, dude, this just looks plain. Okay, so let's give him a little bit more area to run with. Maybe duplicate this one as well, just move it forward a little bit. And this one I actually want to move up and down. So I'm gonna start it exactly where I want it to be. So this is gonna bring you up to a different part of the level. So you should be able to reach that. Now this might work, it might not work. Maybe we can, you know, actually make these spawn. No, I'm not gonna make it spawn. I'm just gonna make it go up and down, give it an animation. And now the first thing I want to test is going into side view. Is he going to be able to jump that with ease? Or is he not even going to be able to clear it? You should be able to jump it with ease. Just enough. But if he messes up, he dies. That's why this way of doing it, if you're doing a game like this, you want some spikes coming up. So he's gonna be like, okay dude, seriously, okay, when are the spikes coming up? I have to get over real quickly. And he's gonna mess up every now and then, waiting for those spikes to go down. Or maybe spikes come up, you're gonna be like, okay, spikes are going down, and then okay, now I can jump. Oh man, I messed up again. See, it's making the game not super hard but intense. So now it's gonna be like, okay, spikes gone, I can jump. Cool. So you're gonna have to do something like that. Make it hard. Make it just hard enough so that the guy, he cannot just finish the level just by running through it, just by speed running the shit out of it, and you didn't even do any. It's just gonna make it boring. It's just gonna make it boring. All right, so now we've got something that looks like almost like a level. I'm saying almost, but we need more platforms. I actually want to see if he's going to be able to run underneath this. If he's not, that's what we're going to change now. I'm just going to move it up a little bit. He should still be able to get on top of it. If he's not, we just bring the jump force up a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. So instead of 14, I'm going to go with 15 now. And he should be able to get up there. You can see he gets up. But that might be a little too, not enough. So I can actually now mess with this value right there. So let's make it 5. That's good enough. Oh, I messed up. No, I just did that on purpose. Okay, so now we're gonna make the level actually work for us. I can see the distance this has and the distance this has. To make sure everything looks good, he's gonna be able to get underneath it. I'm just gonna line this up. There we go. And then just move it to the side. So we know now he can actually get on top of this and actually fall down. So if I hit the game, you should be able to go underneath it, and you should be able to get on top of it. There you go. So maybe you got coins and stuff going on there, and he has to get to those coins, but he didn't know about this, so he's gonna have to wait for this to go up and down to actually bring him up. Then he's gonna have to go down and actually go back if he missed something. So you want him to actually struggle. You know, if he uses the platform that goes up first, and there are coins right there, he can see it from a certain area maybe. That's what you're gonna want to do. You want to make him immerse in, you want to make your game immersive. Okay, so everything is starting to look a little bit more like playable 2D style level, but not really. Okay, so I'm not gonna give this a lot of texture and stuff like that. I can do that by doing just a simple material, make it just brick, not brick, what was that? Brick, and then just go to the, come on you piece of shader editor, Control T, and instead of using this, we're going to go ahead and Shift S, switch that to a texture, and I'm just going to use brick texture. Now everything's going to switch to a brick. Now you can play with the offset of the brick, you can play with the squash of the brick. So now you got brick textures. Pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to change the color of the brick. So if you want it like a red, brownish brick, there you go. Everything is now a brick texture. But obviously not everything is gonna have the same texture, because then it's gonna look pretty crappy, but this is just a way you can actually do some textures. So I can just remove this, and now we're gonna animate this real quickly. So on timeline, I actually wanted to go maybe 180 frames. I'm gonna insert the location and go to 0. Just move it down. So before I actually go and, you know, do anything else, I want to make sure you can actually reach that platform when it's on the ground. So you should be able to get on it. So giving it 20 frames on the ground, location, and giving it 20 extra frames right there. Actually, just before it goes down, so now it's just going to loop that animation. Now we can see, okay, so we got 200 frames. I'm going to set that to 200, not 100, 200, and I want to just test it out by pressing Ctrl A on my keyboard and see how long it takes to go up. If you feel it's not long enough, you can just make sure you are on frame 1. Having everything selected, you can just bring this down. Let's try that. Maybe a little not long enough. Let's try 80 frames. and then it's just gonna ping pong. So now it's just gonna do this. So you don't want him to actually, this thing to actually go up, so you're gonna have him idling, go up, idle, go back. So that's what the animation is gonna be like. Now you're gonna have one animation that should play now, but remember I don't really have anything else, so you can go to your dope sheet. Come on, you piece of crap. Make sure you go to action editor, and I'm just gonna call this up down. So that's the animation I'm looking for. Action editor, well, logic node editor, logic bricks, and just do an always. Action, and we had 80 frames if I'm not mistaken. No, we got 94 frames. Up, down. It's not just gonna play, it's going to ping pong. So if I hit play, no, I didn't look it up, so it's not gonna do anything. My bad. Okay, so that's just weird. Okay, maybe a flipper. Or I can just do a loop, and it's not really gonna work. Because the ping pong is actually supposed to loop it bi-directional. So let's see if this works. There you go. Now you can just start by moving up and down. Obviously you're gonna have a camera that actually is still gonna be busy dealing with some stuff here, and then he gets here. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Let's try and get on top of this. So now it's just gonna move up and down. Now, okay, so now we got something happening. We got something. We almost got a level, but it's not perfect. Remember, we said we're gonna make spikes. So let's make some spikes. My spikes are gonna be right there, or maybe just on top of. I'm just gonna select these. Shift S because it is selected. I'm gonna tab out of edit mode for this. And also this is actually really weird, but you're only gonna see the side, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so for this I'm just gonna shift A, mesh, and I'm gonna make a cube, or maybe just a cone. Making the cone, and I'm gonna set this to maybe 5. Nice and low poly. Is it? Just scale it down. Now I got a spike. So this is gonna do something like this now. But you can see this is maybe it's actually just the right size. No, it might be the right size, because you're gonna be looking at it from this direction. So just to test this out, bring your player closer and see, okay, is this actually going to work for me? And for me, I don't think it's gonna work. So we can make a little smaller. That should work. Alright, so put him back in the starting position. Now before you do anything else, tab into edit mode. Shift D. Shift D. Shift D. Shift D. Now I don't have my screencast keys on because this is pretty, so there you go. we got spikes. So remember, we want the spikes right there. So making sure the player can now get across the spikes instead of landing on top of them. So we want the spikes to stop around there. So around this block right there. So I'm gonna tap into edit mode, select everything, Shift D, and just move it to the side. Because we don't want him to be able to jump across this. He's not supposed to. If he collides with the spikes, he's dead. He's not gonna be able to jump across because he's gonna fall down. So that's why we are going to animate the spikes now. So the spikes are a little different. We're not just gonna make it go word. It's going to shoot up and then just go down really slow. So let's do that. Come on, go to my bloody... I'm going to go fucking crazy. Alright, so let's start with this. Okay, that's going to be below the ground for 1. Do this. Shift S, well, not Shift S, W, set origin to geometry for 1. We are going to need physics on this, but also along with the physics we are going to need. So collision bounds, I'm just gonna do this convex hull or triangulate mesh, doesn't really matter. Okay, so it is going to be static. You're not gonna make it ghost. This is all you're gonna need on its collision. Making sure it's below the ground. You don't want it to kill the player when it's below the ground. There we go. Okay, so when it's below the ground, you are going to need the animation for 1. But for 2, we are going to need... Okay, I'm just gonna do the animation first. We're gonna need the animation. So I'm gonna select location and maybe about, let's say 5 frames. It's just gonna go up and insert that location. So it's gonna just shoot up. It's gonna stay up for about, let's say 60 frames from now. I'm just gonna insert that location and then it's gonna go down very slow. So you can just duplicate the very first frame and just put it right there. So let's test it out. Goes up, it stays there and just goes down. Shoots up. And if you feel that shooting up is a little too slow, you want to make it look like it's actually there to kill you, you can just do that. And then just go down real slow. Okay, so now you got that action. We're gonna call this not cone action, we're gonna call this like kill. Yeah, the spikes are gonna kill me. Haha. Yeah, okay, so cool. So now we got that animation, but it's not gonna work unless it has a property. So we're gonna go to Logic Brick Editor. Now I know this video is a little long for some of you guys. If you don't like it, you can just stop watching. But right now we're gonna need an add game property. The property is going to be spike. And make sure. So capital S. So I'm gonna just copy this. I'm just gonna copy that name. For this side, we are going to need him as player. So add game property and just player. There you go. So it doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase, but for the spikes, yep. Alright, so we are going to have an always. Make sure this is on. An action and a loop end. And it starts at 1 and it stops at 100. So now we should be able to see this happening now. Spikes are shooting up and it goes down. But now I can see it goes down, so you're not going to be able to, you know, escape this real fast because it's going up way too fast. So that's why we are going to do this. Instead of 100, I'm going to give it maybe 200 frames. So what's going to happen, it's going to do the animation, but it's going to give you a little bit more time to get across this. And also, this might be a problem. Alright, so with that animation, I think... Okay, so I actually want this just to stop where the player can actually still go underneath it, because yeah, that's just gonna be an issue. And also with animations, you can do this. Go to your timeline, go to your summary, up, down, object transform. I don't want the X and the Y, so I can just delete that. I can just press delete. So now it's only going to have the X. So if I move this to the side, maybe to that side, it's not going to affect the animation. See? But for the animation where it starts, I actually want to bring this up just above the player, so you can still get on top of it and let it just come down. But you can still go underneath it. But I didn't insert that animation. So now I'm gonna insert the location, and again I don't need the X and the Y. I'm gonna delete the X and Y. Then maybe select this one and Shift D. Bring it there, or maybe not. You can see it's still going below where below where it's supposed to. It's not supposed to go. Playing the animation, you will see it goes down. So it goes down, which you do not want. So you're just gonna duplicate this one to that one, because it's a looping animation. Come on. There you go. So now I can play. Oh shit, I missed it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go this way. Maybe, okay, so yeah, it's coming back. So let's see what's up there. Where is it taking me? Cool. Okay, so we got that. We got the spikes. But the spikes are not going to kill us. So now we're going to go to do a little bit of logic on this. We're going to have spikes. Well, a collision. Excuse me. A collision. The property spikes. And you can make sure it's what you have it renamed by just copying it. Control C and go to your player. Make sure you have that. So I had spikes instead of spike. Make sure it's a true pulse. And I'm gonna call this that. Just so I know, okay, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so when it collides with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and just restart the scene. Or maybe just set the scene. Set scene. Set scene, and as you can see, we only have one scene. So I'm gonna call this main. I'm gonna make a new scene by just clicking on this and make a new, but I actually want to do just a new. So on this new scene, We are gonna need a camera for one. So make a camera, Shift A, and a camera. And make sure this camera is set to orthographic. And you can actually play with the clip start, orthographic, how big it is, clip in, whatever you need for this orthographic camera, you have it. There you go. So that doesn't matter what you do now, this doesn't really do anything, but you can make this as big as you want. But I actually want to do Alt R. I'm gonna GZ, go into camera view, and I'm gonna add a text. And I'm gonna say try again. Yeah, maybe just try again. And then it's gonna have a delay on the camera, and I'm gonna make it 200 frames. And it's going to do a game, and again restart game. So on this scene, if I hit 200 frames after it said try again, it's gonna end the, well, close Blender for some unknown fucking reason. No! Why did you close Blender, you piece of shit? Okay, so restarting game not really working. Oh man, so I'm gonna have to, sorry about this. So I'm just gonna file. If you get problems like this, you should have an auto save if you didn't save your game, like me now. Okay, so try again. Okay, instead of game, I'm gonna just set the scene back. To main. Whereas scene 1 on the main, after colliding with anything that kills you and stopping you from completing whatever you need to complete, it's going to go ahead and... Okay, I'm just gonna try and say this. Control S. And I'm not sure which one it was. I'm just gonna make a new one. I'm just gonna call it 2D game. Save blend file. Because I actually wanted to test this out right now. So I'm gonna collide with that, and it's just gonna restart the scene. It's not setting the scene. You can see it just restarts the scene. It's supposed to set the scene, but we don't have a camera to set the scene to, so I don't think it's gonna work like that. Maybe it's supposed to work. Alright, so maybe setting the scene, not one of my best ideas. So instead of setting the scene, I'm just gonna remove the scene completely. And we can just have another camera on the side right there somewhere, you know. So I'm gonna shift a camera, and I'm gonna move this to the side, make this one perspective orthographic, and I'm gonna do exactly the same by doing Alt R. And it's orthographic, so I'm gonna bring the orthographic up a little bit, bring it up, Shift S goes to selected, Shift A, and text. Make the text nice and big. Again. Try again. And what you can do with your text, if you feel like this font doesn't work for you, you don't want this font to look so crappy, you can actually go ahead and import a font. There you go, font. You can just open a font. So this is the Microsoft font. So let's use something really weird. There you go. Something like that. You can even give it some color if you wanted to by doing Control A and not Control A. What was it? Should C? No. C. It wasn't that. Alt C. Sorry, it's Alt C. And you can convert it to a mesh. You can go ahead and just give it a new material. Call it text 1. Well, text D for death. And you can give it a funky color if you wanted to, like red, yellow, blue, whatever. So I'm just gonna go with red because red is just, you know, that's just what you have if you die. And if you really wanted to, you can just do the Shift A, mesh, a plane, bring that plane down. Where did it go now? Actually, Shift S goes to selected, Shift A plane, easy. Scale up the plane, give it a new material and just make it completely black. Remember to take away the specular and you can bring the roughness up. So basically you should see something like this. So playing the game, you're gonna see this camera with try again, and it's gonna give you a black screen. With this, I would recommend actually just using red. So it's not gonna have any transparency or specular. Did I do that on this one? Oh no, I did on this one. Specular, roughness. Just make sure you do that. Okay, so now it's gonna set the camera. So this is going to be decam. Okay, that's gonna be death cam. Remember the cam name you're using. So you shouldn't be able to see the cam from where you're playing from. But when you collide with it, I'm just gonna show you, it's just going to set a camera. Death cam. There you go. I don't know if there's another camera if I do this. No, but so it's picking up another camera somewhere. Maybe it's from that previous, I'm not sure. Alright, so it's just gonna set it to death cam. So if I were to collide with those spikes, it's just gonna set me to that camera. But for some reason it's not setting the camera because I'm not in that camera. So I'm just gonna Shift A and make another camera. This one is also going to be orthographic. I'm gonna move it forward. Alt R or X90. So it should be able to see the game now. GZ. Now I'm gonna play with orthographic, make it a little bigger. I want to see a lot of the game. I'm gonna bring him over here and bring this camera, GX. Making sure I'm not seeing that part. So I put that player in the, well, in a proper direction, you know, not direction. But now I'm just gonna parent the camera to the player. Control P, an object. So now I should be able to move and jump. And then when I collide with the spikes, I should die. There you go. I collided with the spikes. I didn't see the spikes come up, but that's just part of the game. So you're gonna be like, okay, so I'm gonna try again. What just happened here? Okay, so we got spikes. Okay, so now we got something that works. We got something that works. But this camera, I actually wanted to move it up a bit. GZ. So we're only seeing the bottom. Bottom. Actually, almost forgot about my own spikes. And remember what I said. Maybe he thinks, okay, so I'm jumping down here and I'm falling down. Okay, so I can actually go back and see what I missed. Maybe there's a few coins down here. Maybe there's a few coins. Or a power up. Whatever you want to put there, you can put it there. Okay, so we got a basis of a game going. Basis of a game. We can go up and down and left and right and what. So we need something that tells him, okay, so dude, you just finished my level. I'm so happy you finished my level, but it's not gonna be that simple. So he's gonna have to maybe get across something. So I'm just gonna start making this weird brick-like thing. He's gonna have to jump across this. After he jumped across it, I want him to pick up something, go back. Now I got this idea from another YouTuber making a nice door. So thanks to that guy. I can't exactly remember where I saw it, but like I said, this idea I got from someone else. That's what I'm gonna do now. I got from someone else. Okay, so you want your character to actually go ahead and now instead of just getting a key, like he actually tells you to get, you know, making a key and picking it up, and at the end of the day it's just Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place something right here. But you are going to have to get past maybe some recurring spikes. You can use whatever you want, but remember doing an animation, what I told you. Go to your timeline. You only want the X, well, the Z, not the X and the Y. You can delete that. You only want the Z, so now you can duplicate this. Shift D. So if it messes up at the end of the level, I'm sorry, bro. You're gonna have to restart the game. Haha. So now all of these are gonna actually run exactly the same time, which you can now actually change. Why it has this, I have no idea. Suppose start at 1. Oh, I forgot. My bad. Okay, so for this one, I'm just gonna move it forward a little bit. This animation, so it's going to go. It's gonna start right there. So now we want to make sure these actually end on 200 frames each, or maybe 250, because I think it's stopping at 200 frames. So logic bricks, remember you got 200, so I'm gonna stop it at maybe 250 on all of these. Okay, maybe this one to 300. So let's see what happens. So if I hit play, okay, maybe this timing is a little off. So this one, I'm gonna stop it at 200. Let's test it out. Hit play. Want it real random, and he won't be able to see where it's coming from, so he's gonna have to use his brain. So if he dies, he dies. Or he or she, doesn't matter. Alright, so right at the very end, I'm gonna shift the animation. I'm just gonna make a little cube. If you want, you can actually edit this and make it look like a key. No, come on, why are you fucking not letting me get there? That's it. So that's gonna be the key. Make it a little smaller, control A scale. Alright, so when this thing has a collision with player, I think it was lower caps. Make sure it's always. It's gonna end the object. So edit object, end object. And remember, we're gonna need this one, this property. We're gonna call this key. Now let's go ahead and go to the player right now. I'm just gonna go into the camera. So I'm gonna do another collision. And now I actually want a property on this side that says as and key, and I'm gonna set this to a Boolean. So start it at false. You're going to have a property on this side. There you go, property on this side. Now you're going to assign property has key to, with a capital T, true. Now if you want to see this property going true, you're going to turn this on and make sure you go there to this and actually just turn on your debug properties. Now just to test it out, I'm gonna move the player and I'm gonna have a look at my properties. I'm colliding with it, but it's not doing anything. I had to jump on it for some reason because I did not give this. Okay, for one, I have to make sure this color is applied, and remember physics, static, collision bounds, and I'm gonna make it an actor. There you go. So now I have the key. So if this property is set to true, this property true, we're gonna have another property on this side. Property is equal to, well, hash key to true. If it's true, it's gonna send a message. Come on, you piece of crap. And it's going to go, doesn't matter really where it goes, but you're gonna go as and key. So I'm gonna do Control C, and when it has that, you're gonna ask end key. You should be able to get back. So I'm gonna test it out. Ah, shoot. Ah, come on. You can see that's what I said. Make it random, make it hard. There you go. Alright, but I didn't pick up the key. Ah, crap. Now he's gonna send that message to this door. But before this door can open, you just want a small collider right there that's gonna pop up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just duplicate this, Shift D. I'm gonna move it to the side. I'm gonna make it smaller than the rest. Control A, scale. Oh, not Shift A, Control. You piece of shit. Control A, scale. Oh, sorry, man. Okay, there's gonna be an actor. And this is going to add a game property. And it's going to be... let's just say open door. But also it's going to get a message. Control V. Has end key. So this, when it gets the message as end key, we actually want this as a animation action. So I'm gonna make a quick action for this. I'm just holding in my mouse key. Okay, I'm gonna go to my action editor. I'm gonna go back to 1. I'm gonna start it at just there. I'm gonna insert that by location, doesn't matter where you have this right now, and just go to 2 and you're gonna move it up just so the character can actually collide with it, and make sure it's nice and big. Actually, Control A, scale. So I'm gonna enter that location. And then it's just gonna go up. Now for this, I'm not gonna need any materials. And this is going to be a ghost. So the player can still collide with it, making sure it has collision. Always make sure it's got collision. I'm gonna make it an obstacle just to be sure. And just to test it out, I'm gonna go to my logic editor. Now, instead of starting this at 0, I'm gonna start that up as I actually have the key and I don't have to struggle with it. So you're gonna collide with this, but you're not sure if you're colliding with it. So if you collide with it, this is gonna, remember, it's gonna play an action, and that's going to be, I did not rename the action. So I'm just gonna call this door open C, door open C, just because I can, because why not? All right, gonna play the action, and while playing the action, you're gonna have a collision with player. Make it a true pulse, and you're just gonna send a message as end key. I think that's the message that's gonna get. No, actually I don't want to send that message as end key. I actually want to send this as open door. So this thing is gonna get the message open door. Ah, shit. Make it a true pulse, and you're gonna have an action, or maybe just a tap and then an action. It's just gonna play the animation once, and Now we don't have an action for this. So let's go ahead and make an action. So I'm gonna insert that location. I'm gonna bring it down on 10 frames and just move that down. Insert. So it's just gonna go down. If you feel it's too fast, you can just go 30 frames and see. So 30 frames, that should be good. Okay, so now it goes down. That's why we need a W key. You see what I mean by this? So you can use the arrow keys as well. Oh, excuse me. I'm just trying to stretch my legs. I haven't slept since yesterday. I was working. Alright, so, oh man. Remember, we're gonna call this door open. We're gonna go back to the logic editor. It's gonna be door open. It's gonna be 30 frames. Doesn't matter if you start at 0 or 1. So it's not gonna play unless you collide with that. But right now you can see this is not playing because you can see I'm just gonna bring that up. And remember, I actually have this message as key to true, and I actually want to just add a tab. Wait, why is it just looping? What's going on with you, bro? Okay, maybe not a true pulse on that one. And that means we're done with the level. So when it collides with this thing, you're gonna send a message. It's gonna do edit object or maybe just an action. Just give it that action. Just like that. And remember, actually no, it's actually going to be the collision. So this is going to be door open if I'm not mistaken. Door open C. And just bring this up to 3. So it shouldn't play again. So now we can actually end the level. But obviously you don't have the key, so you're not going to be able to do that. And you're not starting where you are right now. So now we see this is working, but now we have one more thing to do. Giving your player one more keyboard sensor. But it's not going to be on the player because we want it on this thing. So first of all, we're gonna have a state. So if it gets the message, this one gets the door open, Control C, it gets that message, it's gonna go to state 2. Just like that. I mean, I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird, but yeah. Now this I'm gonna do a true pulse. On state 2, with a near player, And the keyboard, W. We want this to go to another camera. We're gonna make another camera. Actually, we want to set it to a new game, but for now I'm just gonna restart the game. So just for now I'm gonna say restart the game, but obviously we are going to set it to a new game, but I'm gonna just restart the game so we know we finished it and it works. Now the reason I wanted to do it like this, to make sure I cannot stand here and press W. So I wanted to make sure if I press W, how near I should be to press that W key. Okay, so the near doesn't seem to be working because it doesn't have a game property, and it's just going to be DF. Okay, so apparently it is not working. I'm smashing the W key and it's not working. Let's just quickly have a look at the near sensor. This is weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna see if it's actually actor. Let's try and turn it into an actor collision. Okay, so it's not working, so let's go ahead and turn on the physics visualizations. You can see it's not really close enough, so I'm gonna turn this up to 2 and reset distance of 3. So it's not restarting the game. If that doesn't work, take away the near sensor, turn off debug properties. Well, physics visualizations, not debug. I want my debug. We're gonna need that. Alright, so we are going to spawn in something else. So instead of using something like that, we just want him to collide with something that actually says, okay, you just finished the level. But in a way, it actually makes sense. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it up. And the exact same thing I gave this animation, it's going to be what this one is going to be. So for one, I'm going to remove the rendering on this. I can do the door frame going up and down, but now I just need to make sure doing the timeline I remove the X and Y. So it's gonna just play that animation when it collides. But now we want this to mirror. We want this to play. So it should play bidirectional. Okay. So now if the player collides with this, sorry, you can even make it smaller if you wanted to, but this should be fine. So if the player collides with this, oh yeah, I didn't give this the, okay, it's gonna do the animation. Logic bricks. I'm gonna give it a collision. Player. And I actually want to make sure I'm typing this correctly. Sometimes I do this. I'm dyslexic. Glory. I'm gonna do it as an always and make sure it's set as a ghost actor, ghost. So it should be able to collide. Just keeping it collision bounds and control A scale. So the player should be able to collide with it, and when it collides with the player, you're going to go game. Restart game. Okay, but also you want a keyboard W, not SW. So now I'm just gonna test that out. So hit play. Remember, he still has the key, so everything should work now. And there it restarts the game. Yay. But restarting the game, yeah. You actually want the player to be all the way at the back. Remember, Control S to make sure your game is saved. So now you can hit play. Try and avoid those spikes. So you can just go over it. So there's the spikes. Making sure it's all the way down. Then I'm gonna hit play. Well, I'm not gonna even try and get over that. Cannot remember if I put any spikes around here. I didn't. Okay, so I've managed to get this area, but why is this up there? I don't want the player to be super fast on this. Alright, so now we can jump over this, and I'm gonna have to be very careful. As you can see, there's those first spikes. Second spikes. I got the key. I got the key, and there we restart the game. So that's a 2D platform game. Tell me that's not a 2D platform game. Now, we are going to need coins. I want them to be able to pick up coins. So I'm going to shift a mesh, and I'm just going to do a cylinder and give it subdivision. Let's just give it 8 subdivisions and just scale it down. RX90, scale it down, GZ. So I actually wanted to make sure, you see, it's not even in the center of this. So the player should be able to collide with that now. If it doesn't look like it's in the center, we can actually do this and move it up. Make sure you apply its scale. Now I'm just gonna give it some random color, but before I do that, let's make it look a little better, because maybe we want this to rotate. So I'm just gonna scale this down a little bit. And I know more than one Yeah, I don't know, no more than one. But I'm gonna call this C1 and C2. Remember, we can use color palettes for this. C2. Well, not C2. No, C1 and C2. There we go. So C1 and C2. Now C2 we are going to use on that. So assign and like a dark, well, not a dark red color, but maybe like a yellow, like a gold color. Control I, and this one we are going to assign, well, not assign, but just change the color just to a little darker color. Make it a little smaller. Now there's more than one way you can animate this, but if you wanted to make like a, I'm just gonna give it always motion, just T on the keyboard, Tango T, not an actuator, and always, jeez, always, and we're gonna do a Z rotation. I was not rotating. I'm gonna have to apply the rotation as well. So let's try 2. Now that should be good. Alright, so collision with player. Now on the player we are going to have a coin count, but not on the player itself. I'm gonna have it on this. So on this camera, I'm gonna shift S because it is selected. I'm just gonna press start on my keyboard. I'm gonna shift A and I'm gonna add excuse me, a text. What is this song? Okay, but anyway. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking for text. So I'm gonna have to RX90. So if you're in the camera view, you're not gonna see it because it's right in front of the text. Well, right in front of the. So I'm gonna bring it up and put it somewhere around there. Make it a little smaller. And I'm just gonna call it points. I'm gonna duplicate it. Maybe just put it equal, not plus, equal. Alright, for this one, it doesn't really matter. This one, you know, whatever you name it, you can just do this and make it 0 because it's gonna start at 0. So you're gonna have 0 coins, but I'm gonna add a game property and I'm gonna add a, well, take game text property and I'm gonna add a game property. So this is going to be an integer. So if I hit, oh, let's just do this, an integer. I don't think this is gonna be necessary. Oh yeah, I am going to need the game property, which is also going to be coins. So that's going to be the property. So you're gonna have a property that's gonna mess around with that property. You can see it says, well, it's not showing, but we can just do that. You can see coins, text 003 coins. But it's not showing this one because there you go. So you should be able to see it if you zoom in and zoom out, whatever. Alright, so we are going to have to bring this up. So I'm just going to show you what happens if I set this to 1. Nothing. Okay. We need a way to translate that to the, excuse me. So I'm gonna have to give this a text property. So, man, it's called property, but also a text. I think that's not going to be necessary. Come on, property. Okay, I'm not sure about this one. Maybe just a message. I'm just gonna do this +1. And remember to set it to tab. On this side, I'm gonna have a property. Then I'm gonna do add to coins +1. So just to test this out, I'm gonna give it a keyboard sensor. I'm gonna hook it up to that, or maybe not like that. I'm just gonna hook it up right there with its own AND controller. I'm gonna put it on space and see what happens if I hit play. You can see it's adding the 1, but it's not plus, 1. So I'm just gonna add 1. I'm just gonna do this, add 1. And you can see it just does that weird add, which is not really working. So we have to figure out why it's doing that. Maybe it should be integer. There you go. But the coins itself, you can see it's not changing. This thing right there. So I think I'm gonna need there was something you can change the text. Excuse me, my throat is killing me. No. I can't exactly remember where it was. There was something you can just change the text properties, so maybe a property and a text. Okay, maybe just give me a second so I can actually go over my notes. Alright, so I am back. Is back. Alright, so my problem was it was just supposed to be a text, and I was supposed to set it to an integer. I forgot about that. So if I hit play, you will see it goes up and down. But now I actually want these to actually just be parented to the camera. Control P and object. Now if I want to, I can just go ahead and turn off the debug properties. So we can only see the text. But you can see it's actually really weird. So I'm gonna select both the text Just move it back a little bit. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Maybe. Okay, but anyway, so you wanted to collide with this instead of pressing spacebar. So I'm gonna just do this, take this off. So it's just going to be a message +1. You're gonna go ahead and do a collision. You're gonna do an edit object, end object. There's gonna be player. Make sure it's a true pulse, because along with that we're going to have a message +1. So it should now work. If I collide with that, you should see +1. If it doesn't send the message, it might be sending the message. No, it didn't connect this up. But just making sure it's top correctly, Control V. So it collides, but it's not sending the message. Alright, so maybe the message is not being sent correctly. I'm just gonna try that. There you go. So now I can duplicate this coin across my scene, so 3 at a time. Oh, why did you turn this on again? Yes, let's test it out. Now we've got a shitload of coins to pick up. Now I want to count out exactly how many coins I am picking up, because I'm going to try and get every one of these coins so I know exactly how many coins I have, because I don't know how many there are. Because I used a random number. But seriously, okay, so it's getting a little bit of a glitch when I pick those up, but oh, it's weird. Okay, first I'm gonna try and get all of these. The only reason it looks like this because I forgot to set them to ghost. I'm already at 51 coins. So I'm not just gonna wait for my platform. Actually, we need to move this up a little bit so you can actually jump to get them, make it a little harder for them. But looks like 114 coins to finish up the game, and I'm just gonna die. Try again. Okay, so for the top part, well, for these coins, making sure I'm not selecting these. I only want to select the coins, which is why I'm using circle select instead of box select. You see, so it's just middle mouse button to deselect anything you don't want selected. Making sure I've got all of the coins when I'm done. So there should be all of the coins. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna have one selected. So now I'm gonna go to its physics properties. So static, ghost, and I'm just gonna give it a collision bound and just a cylinder. I can use box as well, doesn't really matter, but cylinder because it's a cylinder. Or you can just do a convex hull. Doesn't really matter. So to make this work, you're going to go to object, game, copy physics properties. So when I go and play, now I'm not getting that glitch. Now again, I have to remember how many coins there are. I think it was 114. Oh man, you piece of crap. That was my bad. Okay, and also this platform is a little too, well, not high enough. I'm gonna move some of these coins a little higher so I can actually so if the player gets all of the coins, he gets a message that says, well, good for you, you got all the coins. So it's just going to be a small message at the end of the day. So I'm not sure if I got all of the coins. I should have all of them. No, it was 114 if I'm not mistaken. 114. 113. Hoping I didn't miss anything. Just going and checking on everything and making sure I've got all of the coins at the top. I guess it's 113 coins. I'm gonna test it out one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 13. Spikes. I wasn't sure when they were going to pop up. Okay, I'm gonna go for the top ones first, and I'm gonna come back. Where am I missing now? I've got 110 now. So it's 113. So if you get 113 coins at the end of the game, it's gonna put a message up there. You got all of the coins. But for now, yeah, you just got a nice coin counter. So now we got a full playable level. So let's finish this game the way it's supposed to be finished. Oh, and maybe just press Control up. Zoom into your camera a little bit more. I need to bring that down. And also I'm gonna have to bring some of these coins upwards. I don't know what's doing this, but okay. So I want to make it a little harder for him to get these coins. Now I'm gonna try this without actually dying in my own game. So now you've got all of the coins. Now we just need to get past these bloody spikes. So I got the key. And there we go. We finished the game. Pretty easy. So that's how you can make a 2D platform game in 3D and in 2D. I would recommend using this method above the rest. So you can always change this to a, if I type into edit mode, Shift A mesh, and I use a UV sphere. Oh man. Shift S to select it. Shift A mesh, and actually I'm gonna try a round cube with. Come on, you piece of crap! Round cube, and you can just go ahead and just go to this and portions and use it as a. Where was it? You can play with the radius and then scale it down. So now it's round. So if I hit play, hit play, I should be able to move around like normal. If I wanted to, I can make this character motion actually, make it roll. So I'm just gonna show this real quickly. I just want to show you can do this, and also there we go, shade smooth. Just give it a sphere, and it's not gonna do much if you just do it as a sphere. Control A, well, Shift A, no, Control A, scale. And you can actually do a rigid body if you wanted to. But now you cannot jump or anything. Even a soft body. So moving forward is gonna be a hassle. I just wanted to show you can actually do this. But I'm just gonna keep it at character. And tap X and just delete these faces. Or maybe just Control Z a few times until I get my cue back. So now we got the game. Alright, like I said, the last thing I want to do actually, why the fuck am I doing it like this? Remember, I cannot get so let's test that. I'm gonna have to move that a lot more up because I'm still reaching it way too easy. So that means I'm gonna have to do that with these as well. Yeah, that should work. Now it's just making sure I can reach all of these coins I left. Yeah, I should be able to reach every one of them now. Okay, so that should be it. So I'm just gonna save it. Now you've got a proper playable game. So if you like the game, if you like this style of gameplay, the style of doing stuff, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Make sure to hit the subscribe and notification bell so always be in the loop for when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching, guys, and a big shout out Well, big shout out to excuse me. Big shout out goes to Jagger Form. Well, I can't really pronounce it at Jagrofolmi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, but a big shout out goes out to you for giving me this idea and giving me a little bit more of a different challenge. So if you like this video, leave some comments down below. Maybe there's something else you want to learn, you want to see. Yeah, I will definitely do that. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.